Hi everyone, I'm Frank Sellum from Genetic Skincare, and I have with me Jennifer Harrington, our in-house naturopath and nutritionist, and also the owner of Menopause Natural Solutions and Parramatta Naturopathic Clinic. Welcome. I'm really excited about this next topic because
it's a favourite of mine as well.
It's a favourite of yours, yes. It's something that we experience maybe at some stage of our life, or that many people suffer from, and there's a lot of things happening out there in the media that can be very confusing. And I'm talking about fat loss and also the difference between fat loss and weight loss. That can be also a confusing thing. So can we start with that? Can you explain to me, Jennifer, what is the difference between weight loss and fat loss? Obviously I want to lose weight, so I lose fat. Isn't that how it works?
Not quite.
Oh.
See, if I was to chop off my arm,
Yeah.
I've lost weight.
Yeah.
I've lost weight. But
Yeah.
what else have I lost?
Your arm.
I've lost my arm. But
Yeah.
I've lost
Yeah.
bone mass, I've
Yes.
lost muscle mass,
Yes.
hydration,
Yes.
and a little bit of fat. There really wasn't much fat on my arm to begin with. So
Yeah.
but I'm more worried about my
Yeah.
bone mass and my muscle mass
Right.
that I've lost, because they are golden. You need good bone mass, you need good muscle mass, and you need to be hydrated.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to have those extra fat cells.
Right.
So fat loss is techniques that maintain your bone, help build your muscles, maintain your hydration levels,
Yes.
and target fat cells.
Right.
So you don't have to chop off your arm.
That's the difference between weight loss and fat loss. We're really here wanting to lose weight, but not without losing any limbs. And often being overweight is meaning that we have those adipose cells. Our cells are full of fat. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that what? And so we want to reduce the fat. So what first of all triggers fat cells, or a gain in fat in our body?
I would say for most of the cases, it's diet.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to put the disclaimer out there that I do know that there are medical conditions such
Yes.
as hypothyroidism,
Yes.
in which you can gain weight.
Yes.
But that is not the vast majority of the population.
Yes.
The vast majority of the population, it is inactivity and excess dietary consumption. What I'd actually like to talk to you today about is ketogenic diets.
Oh yes.
Now, have you heard of ketogenic diet?
No,
Franks?
please
No.
explain.
So keto means fat burning or
Yeah.
ketone producing,
Yes.
and genic is producing. So it's ketone producing or fat burning. So
Right.
it's a targeted diet.
Yes.
And what we do with this is we reduce the sugars and carbohydrates going into our body,
Yes.
which gives our body the chance to unlock the fat cells.
Yes.
Now most people go, why are you targeting carbohydrates? And I'll give you a very good demonstration why I'm targeting carbohydrates.
Please.
So all carbohydrates by definition, so grains, rice,
Pasta.
legumes, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, anything that's a carbohydrate by definition must convert to sugar in the body.
Right.
But what may alarm you is the amount of hidden sugars are in these foods.
Right.
So this is a 200-gram bowl of pasta,
Yep.
and in my body it converts to 150 grams of sugar.
Wow, that's amazing. So this much pasta is going to become this much sugar in my body. My
Yes.
body's going to make that into that.
Yes.
That's more than a can of Coke.
Well, it's probably on par with a can of Coke.
Yeah, it's on par. Or
But it's hidden.
No.
You're not expecting that.
Yes.
You're drinking your can of Coke.
yes.
You know it's full
You
of
know,
sugar.
exactly.
You're eating your bowl of pasta. You're not expecting
thinking,
it
oh.
to be turned into
Yeah.
sugar in the body.
Right.
And what's scary is what the body actually does with this sugar.
Right.
So I've got a
Does that need to
teaspoon
help
here.
you? If
Yeah.
I hold this?
So the body will take a teaspoon of this sugar,
Yeah.
and it goes right, will dump you into the blood. So this is your instant energy. The whole
Okay.
reason for converting
So
that
this-
into this is for fuel,
This much.
and that is your instant fuel that's in your blood right now that you're using.
Right.
Next, the body goes, wow, this is really important stuff. We
Yes.
better save this. So we'll take a tablespoon
Yes.
and let's store that in our glycogen, which is in our muscles and our liver,
Okay.
for short-term storage.
So if I start running or
Yep,
up
and
the
they're
stairs,
interchangeable
then
quite
I'll
quickly.
use this up.
That if you need more blood sugar, it takes from glycogen. If you've got too much blood sugar, it will store back to glycogen.
Okay. And what do I do with this bit?
What do you think?
Well, I store it for.
You store it for a rainy day.
A rainy
You
day.
store it for a rainy day in a thing called fat.
Oh no! Really?
Well, let me just explain first. If you don't burn it,
Yes. If you don't burn it.
this gets stored as fat.
Okay. So if I sit all day on the couch watching movies, or just have a normal day where I'm just walking to work and doing whatever I'm doing at work and coming home and going to bed, but I've eaten, maybe a pizza and some pasta. I'm
Don't
storing.
forget the garlic bread.
Yeah, the garlic
You can't
bread.
go without the garlic bread. So you've got
So-
carbs on carbs on carbs.
Yes.
And you've probably had the soft drink with it, maybe some Coke.
Okay.
It's very nice
Or
with your
wine.
pizza and garlic bread.
Even.
And I didn't bring enough sugar.
That's right. It would be a massive amount of sugar that I would store and transform into
Well,
fat.
especially now that you're laying on the couch watching your movies.
Okay.
That's quite inactive.
Okay.
You're not going to burn any of
So-
that. That's all going to get stored.
Major component that triggers weight gain or increase of fat in our body is diet.
So when we're looking at carbohydrates, the
Yes.
grains are the worst case scenario.
Right.
The grain will convert to be 75% sugar. And when we're looking at pasta, the other 25%, it's obviously not hydration.
Yes.
There's not very many vitamins and minerals in that. This
Yes.
is just going to be fibre.
Yes.
When we move down, you've got your legumes, which is things like your lentils and chickpeas.
Right.
They're about 60% carbohydrates
Right.
and about 40% protein. So I know there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of
I do.
vegetarians out there saying, but it's my protein.
Yeah. That's
I
fine.
agree, there is protein, but it's predominantly carbohydrates.
Yes. It's okay if you're going to go for a jog though. You're going to start burning that off.
It also
as well.
depends on what your goal is. If
Yeah.
your goal is maintenance, then of course you can have that in your diet.
Yes.
If your goal is fat loss, then
Mm.
you need to do things slightly different for a little while
Yes.
until you start seeing the results.
Mm.
And then you can choose whether you keep going until you get to your goal, or maybe
Mhm.
you have like a little break and go into a maintenance diet, and when
Yeah.
you're ready to kick on again, then
Right.
carry on. So it's more about
Okay.
what you want to achieve at this point in time.
Would it make a difference? Like here, I see that you're using white pasta as
Mm.
an example. What if I got some good wholemeal pasta?
All right, let me show you what will happen with the wholemeal pasta.
Surely it's going to be a better result, outcome.
So we're going to pretend this is wholemeal pasta this time.
Yeah.
It still
Do you want me
converts
help you with
to
anything? Yeah.
the same amount of sugar.
So wholemeal, same thing.
The
same
difference
deal.
is the white sugar will convert quite rapidly.
Yes.
The brown sugar will convert to the same amount over time. So you're getting small amounts. So you've got a better chance of trying to burn it off before it gets stored.
Okay.
But if your goal is fat loss,
Yes.
this is too much sugar at the end of the day.
So either way,
Yeah.
get off
Because
the
we've got to
wheats and-
stop laying down new fat cells
Yes.
before we can go down and break it down old fat cells.
Okay. So don't increase the dosage.
And the body can't do both. It can't be
Okay.
burning and gaining at the same time.
Okay.
We're either in fat building mode or we're in fat burning
That's
mode.
really interesting. Okay.
So, getting back to the carbohydrates, your nuts and your seeds are about 30-35%.
Yes.
Fruits are around 12%, and
Yes.
veggies around about 8%.
Okay.
So when you're looking at fruits and veggies, on average it's 10%. But when
Right.
you're looking at a fruit and vegetable in comparison to a grain,
Yes.
you've got hydration,
Yes.
you've got vitamins, you've
Yes.
got minerals, you've got phytonutrients, you've got
Right.
so many good things.
Yes.
So carbohydrates should be from your fruits and your vegetables.
Mm.
And for the time being, while you're trying to lose weight, you need to give the grains and the legumes
a bit
a
of a
break
rest.
for now.
Yes.
You can still have your nuts and your seeds, but it's
Yes.
about having a portion.
Yes.
I know I struggle. If I've got an open bag of nuts, I want
Yeah.
to eat them. So it's getting your portion out,
Yes.
putting the rest away,
Yes.
so that is all that you eat.
Okay. Now, I mean, you talked about pasta as being a terrible thing, but what about just fat?
See,
Like-
it's fat. So fat in
Yeah,
the body.
like, say
dietary
meat or
fats,
fish, in the fat in the meat or the fish. What
so
about that?
dietary fats don't equal body fat. I think this is a problem. We
Oh.
both call them fats, but they're
Yes.
actually two very, very different things.
Right.
Remember, it's your carbohydrates that equal sugar, and sugar being a fuel source is very important to the body,
Yes.
so the body will store it.
Yes.
And that's because it goes back to when we were primitive beings, where there were times of feast and famine. When was your last famine?
Never.
Yeah, I've never had one either. So we've just been living in a permanent feast,
Yeah.
where we've just been eating. Our body still stores because historically we would have had
Yes.
come winter, we would have had a
Yes.
famine.
Yes.
And we needed all this extra fuel stored to survive the winter. So what fats do in the body, fats help you to absorb your fat-soluble nutrients.
Right.
We have water-soluble and we have fat-soluble nutrients.
Yes.
And our fat-soluble nutrients are vitamin A, D, E, K, and things like calcium.
Right.
And these nutrients we can't absorb without fat.
Right.
So that it's very important.
Yes.
And they actually think that a lot of the low vitamin D levels in Australia is due to inadequate fats in our diet.
Oh.
So A, we're not really getting that much sunshine.
Yes.
But when we are getting it, do we have enough fats in our body for absorption and conversion?
Oh, wow. That's
Food for thought. In the clinic, I do put a lot of my clients on flaxseed
Flaxseed,
when
yes.
they are trying to
Yes.
lose weight. Lose fat, sorry.
Yes, yes.
Busted with my own
Different.
terminology.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the nutrient absorption, it's also for lubrication, it's
Yes.
anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
Every cell in your body has a protein base.
Yes.
But every cell in your body also has what's called a phospholipid membrane.
Yes.
It's a fatty membrane on the outside of the cell.
That protects
This
the
allows
cell. Right.
nutrition in
Yes.
and it allows toxins out.
Yes.
If you don't have the right fats or the right amount of them,
Yes.
you get a shriveled up raisin-looking cell instead of a
Yes.
plump grape-looking cell. So
Oh.
that cell prematurely ages and prematurely dies.
Right.
So good fats are so important. The most dangerous fat, the most dangerous diet out there is a low-fat diet.
Right.
So
Right.
eggs, avocado, nuts
Mm.
and seeds,
Mm.
seafoods, these
Yes.
are all good
Yes.
fats.
Yeah. Good fats.
But we haven't spoken about protein. So
No.
if you're not having your carbohydrates, if you're having a low carbohydrate diet,
Yes.
using your fruits and vegetables, protein is something that you need to increase.
Yes.
So protein,
So
you've got
more
your
meat,
animal
more
products.
Okay.
Yep, so your fish, your meat, your chicken, your eggs. And then we can look at vegetarian proteins like
Yep.
tofus, nuts and seeds.
Nuts
Most
and
people
fruits.
really struggle with breakfast.
Yes, breakfast. I like to have toast or some cereals. What do I do instead?
You're really on a fat promoting diet for breakfast.
Yes.
And I've really found it's how you start the day. If
Yeah.
you start the day well,
Yes.
you're more likely to keep going.
Mm.
But if you've had a poor diet, poor breakfast,
Mm.
you've got a blood sugar low on the way.
Yes.
Once your blood sugar low hits, you want something to pick you up quickly.
Yes.
So it would be a can of soft drink, a biscuit, a muffin,
Oh.
or something.
Yes.
And then you're roller coastering all
Correct.
day.
Oh, yes.
So you need to start well. And what
Right.
balances blood sugar levels are proteins and fats.
Okay.
So, any idea what's a protein?
Egg?
Yes! Ah, fantastic!
So can you fry it? Can you? How do you have the egg?
You know what? I'm actually not that fussy. I think
Right,
the
okay.
ideal way would be an omelette. Chuck
Okay.
in some veggies.
Right in the morning, just
Why not?
get going with the omelette. Love
yeah.
it.
Eggs, veggies.
Yeah.
You've got good fats. You've got good proteins. You've got good carbohydrates. It's win-win-win.
Wow. Okay. And then it kickstarts the day.
Absolutely.
And you're giving yourself an affirmation, aren't you? You say, I'm looking after myself as you prepare your omelette.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a good hearty meal that will get you through. You won't
Mm.
go at 9 o'clock, oh, I'm hungry,
Mm,
oh, I've just
mm.
had brekkie. You'll get through.
Right, right.
So good sort of snack ideas if you do want
Yeah.
morning tea or afternoon tea. Things like nuts and seeds.
Yeah.
Maybe some yogurt or some cheese if you don't have a dairy
Yeah.
issue. Tin of tuna, chicken drumstick.
Right.
Or dips, but it's got to be a protein-containing dip. So you don't want to go back to the diet you've got today.
Yes.
Because the diet you've got today has got you to where you are now.
That's right.
And,
So you want to.
You need a different route. If it's not
If you don't change
working
what
for
you're
you.
doing, you're going to keep going to the same
Absolutely.
results.
So
Yes.
we're going to make a dramatic change to see the results. But then if we keep going with the dramatic changes, are you going to get too skinny? Are you going to lose too much weight? There's absolutely no concerns with being grain-free for life.
Yes.
Just think of celiacs.
Yes.
A lot of them are grain-free for life. Some of them will still do rice and things, but there's nothing in here that you can't get from another food source.
Yes.
So you're not going to create any deficiencies or any conditions.
Right.
But if you get to a point and you go, I've lost enough weight, I don't want to lose any more weight, you need to find a middle road between what you were doing and what you are doing. And for a lot of people, that's putting in a higher carbohydrate meal a day.
Okay.
So maybe they'll change their breakfast, or maybe they'll add some quinoa or some rice into one of the other meals. But it's not, you don't want to go back to bread and cereal for breakfast, sandwiches for lunch, pasta for dinner, because that's just going to put all the weight back on that you've taken off.
Obviously exercise, I imagine?
Obviously exercise.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So that just burns. So if you do have a pizza, which is probably the worst of all the foods, then make sure you go for a good workout for
maybe considering a protein-only meal the next meal too, just to help get that insulin level back down.
But exercise is going to take out what you put in.
But I actually want people to exercise regardless of whether they have that naughty pizza or not.
Okay.
And it can be anything. You might be going out dancing. It could be going to play tennis, going for a walk, going for a cycle. We both love cycling.
Yes, that's right.
It can be going for a swim.
Yes.
Getting that 7-minute app so
Yes.
that you're doing a couple of minutes of exercise. It's not going to impede on your day, so you can fit that in.
So Jennifer, is there anything else that you would recommend to help you through your weight loss, or should I say fat loss journey?
You should say fat loss.
Yes.
And hydration. I don't know whether we've emphasised hydration enough.
Right.
But when your body encounters toxins, it stores them in fat cells, so they're away from your vital organs. So now that we're going and we're targeting those fat cells to be broken apart, can re-release some of these toxins into the body.
Right.
So we want to make sure we're well hydrated so that we can flush out any toxins released from the fat cells.
Really interesting, yeah.
So yeah, staying well hydrated.
Okay.
If you're significantly overweight, or there's also hormonal issues, it might be worth also doing some liver work at the same time.
Okay.
Because it's the liver's job to sort of process all of those toxins that you're breaking down, but also to balance hormones. It's got a tough job at the best of times, but this is a time where we're really relying on the liver to work as well as it can.
Yes.
And if you know that maybe your liver enzymes are out a little bit, it's also an indication at this point to support your liver during your journey.
Yeah. Ideally, I mean, it would be good to see a nutritionist, someone that can just...
naturopath or a herbalist.
Yes, that can put you through a good program.
Well, look, if it's just a couple of kilos you've got to lose, the diet will do that.
Yes.
But I'm just aware that some of my clients have a couple of kilos to lose.
Yes.
Some of my clients have 100 kilos to lose.
Yes.
So the food is the same,
Depends
regardless
what stage you're
of what,
at.
how much you have to lose. But it's what other supportive measures you need, depending on what else is going on in your body. And if you're not sure, it's probably better to get some qualified advice to set you off on the right journey, and so that you see faster and better results.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why you can't do the food if you don't want to do that.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Another really interesting interview. I really appreciate your knowledge and sharing all that wealth with us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Anytime, Frank.
I hope you enjoyed it too, and if you did, please let us know. Just by either sharing this video, or you can make a comment. We'd love to hear from you, or just give us the thumbs up. That would be great. For now, I'll say goodbye and wish you a great day, and look forward to seeing you again